can we take that into a scenario right now? Because I actually
Yeah.
was in a situation at a pharmacy where I noticed someone who was doing the chin strap, and
So holding a mask down here or here,
yeah, yeah,
below the nose?
it was
Oh,
down here.
just
It was,
here.
yeah, it
Okay.
was there was really little. I could see the person's entire face except for the chin, and it triggered me, and it made me very emotional to the point where I felt like I could not approach this person without them seeing my anger, and I chose not to engage
Mhm,
with them, which probably was the best course of action,
mhm.
because I couldn't figure out a way to constructively come to them. So I am at a loss, and I'm curious how we can treat that situation when, as I said before, there's this whole layer of health implications on top that gives, at least in my own mind, some legitimacy to the trigger and the emotions.
Mm.
And my default is saying, what's your problem? Get the hell out of here. You're potentially killing people. So help us with that.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, firstly, like, thank you so much for like sharing that was your experience and being so honest about it. I'm sure lots of people can relate to that. And it sounds like, actually, I agree. I think you did like exactly the right thing. So when we talk about emotional alchemy, this ability to bring something to somebody else, like the first question I always have is why? Like, and for me, it's connection over content. Like, if I care more about being right than I care about the other person, this is my stuff to deal with. Okay, so if you notice like you're getting triggered and like it's this like, what the hell are you doing, like this, you're killing people, like that's not going to promote a helpful dialogue at that point. So I'm always checking in first of like, what's my motivation here? Like, do I care about this connection, or do I just care about being right? And is this really like this other person's thing to deal with, or am I just but trying to like offload my own discomfort with my emotional state right now? I'm angry and I don't like it, and it's much easier to blame somebody else for that than to admit, okay, I've just met I because you said it made me angry. And actually suggest that maybe convoluted for normal speak, but I made myself angry.
Yeah.
I saw this person not wearing their mask properly, and I have this story that wearing a mask is the right thing to do, that people who don't wear a mask are endangering people's lives. And when I think all of those things, like, I feel anger. Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, this other person at this point has got very little to do with it, but it's much easier to blame them.
Right.
So always connection over content.
And I think on top of that, you envision a world where, and you even have examples of other countries who are behaving in a way that is limiting the illnesses and the deaths much more. And you have a picture in your mind of how we should all be behaving. And when something is not mapping to that, I understand that but it's hard to let go, because I almost feel like, and again, maybe you can kind of tackle this and deconstruct it. I almost feel like it's a responsibility for us to start to normalize what the appropriate behavior is, and use that discomfort around falling out of the norm to help change the behavior in a positive way.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. And so I think this is all about, it's awareness and choice. So how am I in the moment, and I can then choose about what I want to do next from a place of being calm, centered, and a responsible adult, not a triggered, tantruming
Is there a way to do that?
Can I try? Can I volunteer?
Yeah. All right.
I'm gonna. So Chris, you're the one with the chin thing,
Yeah.
and so I would, on a good day, be aware of my triggers, and yet I want to feel empowered. A lot of what's going on now, we feel helpless, right? Because we're getting so much information, but I don't want to walk out of that pharmacy and not do something, because it's potentially not just me. These are all the things they're going. So thank you. So I would come up and say, excuse me, you probably forgot. And I just would point to is that passive aggressive?
Yeah. So I'm going to back us up a step, because I think this question about like, when do I know when to let it go, and when do I know whether to bring something up? And so this thing around letting go, it is really hard. And I'll just tell you a little story about how they catch monkeys in the jungle. Catching monkeys is actually super simple. So they get a box and they put a banana in the box with a small hole. Chris knows this story. In the edge of the box, and it's a small enough hole that a monkey can get its hand into the box and it can pick up the banana, but it's not big enough then for the monkey to be able to pull its hand and the banana out of the box. And so the monkey's trapped in the box. And this is generally how they catch monkeys, because the monkey will not let go of this banana, right? It's got this banana now and it's like hell or leather. But clearly the monkey's getting more and more distressed because it can't get away. And we're like the monkey, like we grasp onto these stories, these narratives and these judgments that we have about the world, and we hold on to them even when they're causing us all of this distress. And it's not an easy practice, but to notice that and go, oh, actually, like, could I just, what would it be like to just be okay with this right now and be like, okay, this person isn't wearing a mask. I don't agree with it. I don't have to agree with it. But what am I then hoping, if I want to bring it into a conversation, what am I hoping as an outcome? And what I might suggest then, like moving forward, is again this concept of context. So I might start to approach somebody with this sense of context, of like, like a little bit of a blur. I know this might sound really strange, but I know I'm really curious. I noticed that you're wearing your mask around your chin, and I'm curious about why you're doing that. I have this strong value for people wearing masks. I think it's really important, and I'm curious what your perspective is.
I just wanted a little feedback. Only people with British accents, Queen's English, would get away with that.
Well,
There is no one in this country that would. No way. Come on.
Well,
am I right, Chris?
It's really interesting because I was running Vix. I was running your comment through the filter, and I'm making a lot of assumptions here about the person that was doing the chin strap. It was a white man, a little scruff, dressed casually, looked like like he worked for a utility or construction or something like that. Just the way he was dressed, and a whole lot of assumptions. Let's, for the moment, assume those are true. Mm-hmm. And so, I was immediately envisioning anything I said is disarming as I could be, would be met with piss off. Mm-hmm. Mind your business. I'm not doing anything for you. Because the person has a lot of pride or whatever, and you're not going to let who are you, Mr. Highfalutin. So my point is, in that case, I was listening to what you were saying, Vix, and imagining him hearing that, and I was actually like, "Ooh, that might work." So I just wanted to play that back to you, because that's really it was kind of unexpected on my part to hear that, and thought, you're now engaging them and actually welcoming, even if what they're saying is completely 180 degrees from what you believe, you're inviting them to share how they feel, which is it's probably completely unexpected for them to hear as well.
Yeah,